YouTube? Chris Moreno back with another video. It's Sunday, November 22nd, and I'm on my way to the gym to go smash an upper body workout. And I figured, why not show you guys? You know, a few of you have told me how y'all like the leg day video that I posted, right? Which I'll include a link to that video right in the description box. But with my upper body workout on Sunday, just like my lower body workouts on Saturday, that one too is going to emphasize a little bit more hypertrophy compared to my style of training during the week. I mean, it's all a similar style, but I will say that I will put a little bit more of an emphasis on building muscle when it comes to my workouts on the weekend. So once I get to the gym, once I smash the warm-up, I will show you guys the routine. Y'all stay tuned. All right, guys, so I jumped this workout off with some barbell flat bench pressing, since this is now my main horizontal pressing, whereas from the past few months, I've been doing nothing but a bunch of barbell incline pressing. So with these presses, I'm making sure that I'm having a slight pause at the bottom of each rep, just to make sure that I'm taking out all momentum and really making sure that I'm able to take my muscle groups as much of through the entire full contractile range that I'm able to using barbells. So 3 sets of 7 with, I want to say I used 245 that day, right? Again, really emphasizing the control on each rep. And then followed by my 3 sets of bench press was this tricep, starting with some kneeling barbell overhead presses. So again, starting with some overhead press work to get some anterior shoulder work, but doing it in a kneeling position just to make things a little bit more quote unquote functional, right? Putting a little bit more emphasis on the need for core activation and also being able to create tension and maintain tension, because I train primarily for strength. But then immediately after those kneeling barbell overhead presses were 30 reps of some chest supported Y raises, right? Again, raising in a Y position to really put the medial delt in the best position to get the max stimulation possible compared to the traditional side raises. And then the single arm rear delt flies, making sure that the band lines up with my upper arm. That way, as I drive my elbow as far back as possible, I make sure that I'm really getting the rear delts and not just a bunch of trap work. I'm all for not putting a bunch of isolation in my training, but at the end of the day, I want to make sure that I'm hitting what I'm trying to hit. And so after the shoulders, I went into some back work. So I started with these ring rack chins, starting with a 20-second isometric, right? 15 to 20-second isometric, I can't remember off the top of my head. Really focusing on driving the elbows down and squeezing the lats. And then I hit 15 reps. Again, really focusing on the elbows just going straight down, and then just coming down enough to where my lats are fully stretched. So you don't necessarily have to have your arms go completely in an overhead position to get a full stretch on the lats, because I'm really emphasizing the lat work on this variation. So after the rack chins, I immediately go into these mid-back rows. So I'm really focusing on letting my shoulders retract as I pull myself into the row and letting them protract as I go to the bottom. Really making sure I'm getting that full scapular movement to really emphasize, you know, the mid-back. You know, you have to make sure that your shoulders retract and protract to fully get the mid-back in any type of rowing motion. And then immediately after those rows were some isometric lat pullovers. This was done for 15 seconds, really focusing on keeping my hands together while keeping my arms fixed and driving my elbows towards my hip. And then I hit 15 reps, right? pretty much it's going to be a partial range of motion due to the amount of resistance, but the goal is to try to make your elbows go towards the hips. So after those 15 reps, I do a quote-unquote band drop set by actually increasing the tension by grabbing a higher portion of the band and just including partial reps. So this is to really make sure that you're getting as much muscle fiber recruitment as possible while using bands, because with bands you're kind of limited on the amount of contractile range you can take muscles to, just because the challenge is at the end point of each movement pretty much. And then some mid-back rows, so just staying in a kind of gangsta lean position, not to where I'm overarching at the back, but just making sure that I'm rowing towards my sternum. 10 to 15 reps followed by a 10-second hold. And that was the back portion of this upper body workout. And then going into some tricep work. So I've been hitting these ring dips for the past few weeks now, really making sure I'm getting a good pause at the bottom, and then I fully lock out as much as I'm able to. So this is gonna also work the chest, right? It also is gonna include some shoulders as well, but I really make sure that I get a full stretch in the triceps on each rep, right? So that way I'm really making sure that I'm taking my triceps through their full contractile range, because that's how you're going to stimulate the most muscle group or most muscle growth in your training, is by taking your muscles through their full contractile range. That's why the movements that you choose to do in the gym do matter, because you got to be able to take that muscle group through its full contractile range, right? It has to contract fully and stretch fully, basically. And so after the dips, hit these single arm katana extensions, really focusing on keeping my elbow as far away from the band as possible, and I'm just pulling the band out kind of like a sword sheathed on my back, right? Kind of like a fucking ninja, samurai, whatever the technical term is. Then some bicep work, just this super simple superset that's very effective for destroying the biceps rather quickly. So it's just some preacher arm curls, having a pause at the top and the bottom, and also making sure the negative is done with control. And when you come to the bottom, you flex the triceps. That way the biceps fully stretch on each rep, right? So I've pretty much, with my arm training, just been doing 1 to 2 sets, aiming for failure pretty much on each set. And after these spider curls, I went into a dumbbell incline curl. But instead of me just going to an incline bench, I just went ahead and turned around and just did them this way. Like, I possibly could have gotten a lot more reps if I used an actual incline bench. However, for the sake of time, because I was really pushing it on this day with what I had to do after training, I was just like, fuck it, let's just go ahead and just turn around and just get what we can. Because again, hitting just 1 to 2 sets, failure on each movement when it comes to hitting these giant sets and trisets, right? So really incorporating the spider curl and the dumbbell incline curl, just because you're going to be strongest at 2 different points. So this is to make sure that you're taking your biceps to their full contractile range. When it comes to building muscle, you got to take the muscles through their full contractile range. I'm going to say it over and over and over again. And then after the incline curls, just supination curls to failure. I only got like 2 to 3, no, 3, that's right. And then afterwards, hammer curls to failure, even if I decided to cheat a little bit, right? So cheat reps are a tool. You don't want to like exaggerate the amount of body English you incorporate, but it's okay to use them every once in a while. Use it as a tool, use it strategically. And then I ended my upper body workout with these ring face pulls. I enjoy ending any upper body workout with ring face pulls and overhead raises. Well, not just with the rings, but it could be done with the cable as well. So that way I'm getting some shoulder external rotation, and I'm also getting some mid and lower trap work pretty much those are things that are neglected by a bunch of people in their training. So this is the upper body workout that I've been doing for a good while these past few Sundays. Let me know if you like it. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And I will see you guys next week. I'll let you guys see the rest of the video. All right, guys, so that's the upper body workout. I'm gonna go home, get something to eat, and get my day started. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed already, keep getting more gains this week. Y'all have a good one. Peace.